Well, what's up guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and it's a beautiful Oklahoma day. It's overcast. I got calling for a chance of rain the next couple days, and that means I had to get on a project. So fall is almost here, as we've been saying, and deer season is just around the corner, which that will start October 1st. Today is September 19th, so we're just what, 11 days, 12 days from the start of deer season in Oklahoma, and I need to get some food plots put in the ground. So if you're not a deer hunter, a food plot is basically just a field that you would plant with cool season crops. Well, depending on time of year, you may put them in the summer and it'll be a warm season crop. But in the fall, for deer season, we plant cool season crops in a small area to bring the deer in, to feed the deer, to give them something to eat through the winter time, and to have a place to hunt over. So that's what a food plot is. We plant a lot of things like oats, wheat, different brassicas, turnips, ryegrass, a lot of different things. So food plot season's here. I made a phone call, Great Plains Kubota, GP Rents, and this is a Kubota L4701, I believe. Yep, L4701 four-wheel drive Kubota tractor. And before we go out and tear up the ground before we can have a nice seed bed, I said, hey, we need to do a little brush hogging. Even though we just baled all of our hay, the grass has grown another 1.5 feet. So they brought me out a Woods 6-foot wide mower for me. I naturally tend to call it a brush hog, even though brush hog is a brand name. I get that, but mower and mow the fields, and a 6-foot disc. So last year we used that skid steer and the Harley rake. Yeah, that's right. We used the skid steer with the Harley rake to till up the ground, and that thing worked great. That's kind of an expensive way to do it. Most people aren't going to go out and spend the money to rent a skid steer and the Harley rake. This is what you would typically see most people put in a food plot with. Most guys, most property owners, most deer hunters are going to go take their tractor, they're going to mow a spot, and then they're going to take a disc and disc up the ground a little bit, because you don't have to have a perfect seed bed like a garden. You just need to disturb the soil so that the seed makes good contact with the soil. So, Kubota tractor from Great Plains Kubota, a mower, and a disc. And then we're gonna be throwing out some seed later today because it's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow. So that means I got a lot of work I need to get done today. So let's get started. all the mowing is completed, all the disking is completed. And you know what's nice about rented equipment sometimes? I mean, not that I have bad equipment, but I got all of my mowing and all of my disking done and nothing broke. That's what's nice about a brand new tractor, right? So we're gonna be planting out, gonna be spreading out, broadcasting by hand all of our seed. I could get a 3-point spreader and go on and spread it all fast. I don't have that much to do. It's not that big a deal. I'm just going to use a hand crank broadcast spreader. You just fill the hopper and shoots the seed out. So I'm planting a couple different things. One, as you can see back there, is made by Pennington Seed Company, and that's called Rackmaster Feeding Frenzy, and it's just kind of a blend. It's kind of pricey, so I only bought a couple bags of that, but it has oats, winter peas, common wheat, crimson clover, trophy rape, turnips, radish, red clover, just a blend. Okay, it is about 30 bucks a bag, so I only bought a couple bags of that, but most of what I'm going to be planting is just this pasture mix, and it is 68% Big Max wheat, 28% ryegrass, or a rye grain, not ryegrass, it's rye grain. There is a difference. There's no clover, there's nothing else in it. It's just a wheat and rye pasture mix, and it will, as soon as we get just a smidgen of moisture, that stuff will go, it'll grow really fast, it does really well, and it'll be green all winter long for the deer. So let's get to spreading some seed. I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. Well, might have almost peed myself just a little bit. So I'm walking along, just spreading my seed, you know, like most men do, spreading their seed and all, minding my own business. And my deer feeder went off. It's about 15 yards from me. Corn. I thought I was under fire. Whew. I didn't get shot, thankfully. I might have to give you a warning. One thing about this contraption I've got, if you're not good at multitasking, you probably don't want to use this thing, because you do have to walk and crank at the same time, and sometimes my cranking and my walking, I haven't fallen down yet, so we're good. All right, whew, sweating again. Guys, it's still warm, trust me. So we got all the seed thrown out. I'm gonna go back real quick with the disc. I'm just gonna try to cover my seed, because if I don't and we don't get much rain, the birds will eat all my seed. So I'm gonna take the disc and just lightly drag over the seed bed. I'm not trying to dig, not trying to go real deep, but we just want to move the seed and the soil around and get good seed to soil contact. And then we're off to the races, just waiting for the rain. One plot down, one to go for the day. I'm gonna put 2 food plots in. The next one we go to, you guys, if you've been a long time subscriber of the channel, you'll recognize this field, because Emily has killed 2 big bucks in this field. And last year when Hayden and Dutch were here from Keeping It Dutch, Hayden killed her little buck in this field. So it's definitely a good killing spot. If I can say killing without getting demonetized or something. Let's get back to work. Well, all right, I either give up or I'm done or I quit or something. I'm just gonna call it done for the day. I'm telling you what, I started this morning about 9 o'clock. It's now 5:30 and I'm whooped, I'm tired, but I got my 2 big food plots in for the year. My main one right here is where we hunt the most, where Emily shot her deer the last couple of years. I don't have the ground blind set up, but we usually set up right there. And then last year and the year before, probably within about 40 yards of each other is where Emily, just right there, that's where she dropped 2 bucks the last 2 years. Dropped him, Emily. And as you guys saw when we had the, well, you may or may not have seen, seesaw scene. When we had the big skid steer with the brush cutter, we went in and cut our trails, built those last year, added a couple more, and I always go in and throw a little seed out on these trails because deer, well, deer and turkey, believe it or not, are lazy. They're just like people, they're just like water. They take the path of least resistance. So we make some nice trails up through the woods. Gives them a trail to come out on. They'll walk out when we're bow hunting, literally 15 yards from a ground blind. And that also gives me a good fire break. I plant seed up through the timber right there. We come in the fall, or I'm sorry, late winter, early spring, and do some controlled burns. And that'll be nice and green, like a green fire break. So, anywho, sweating like a crazy person. But special thanks to GP Rents and Great Plains Kubota. Go check them out. If you're in the market for a tractor or you need something to rent to put in something like a deer plot, a lot of people think that GP Rents and all the Kubota, Great Plains Kubota dealerships, all 5 of them, all over central and southern Oklahoma, on the rental side of things, people think they just do construction stuff, but you can rent a farm tractor just like this one with a disc or a rotary cutter. I call a brush hog, which that's just a brand. I know it's not a brush hog, it's a rotary cutter. But whatever implements you need, you can rent those out, get some projects done on your farm. If you got, you may have a small tractor, like a 20 horsepower tractor that you do little things with, but if you need to get a bigger project done, you can rent a larger farm tractor just like this. It's not just skid steers, excavators, and all the construction stuff. However, that stuff is fun to rent. But anyways, Great Plains Kubota, so graciously, well, anyways, so thankful to Great Plains Kubota for partnering with our YouTube channel to let us use equipment like this to get projects done here on our farm. And this machine right here has allowed us to put in some really nice food plots that we'll be using to harvest, hopefully harvest, some really nice deer this fall. So guys, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day. And as always, we'll see you on the next video.